Hi, I'm Jeremy, and I'm your host of Tell Me Wine TV, where we answer your questions about wine right here on the internet. And today, somebody asked just a general question about Australian wines, and it's far too general to answer because like any wine region in the world, the answer is going to be exhaustive. But this person just wanted to know more about Australian wine, so I thought we'd talk a little bit about Australian wines and taste one as well. Australia is down under and produces a variety of wines of different levels of quality. I think many of you know of Yellowtail, which originated from Australia. It's a mass-produced wine, which doesn't always come from Australia. The demand for the wine is so great, they sometimes have to source grapes from different parts of the world. But on the other end of the spectrum, there is Penfolds Grange, which is excuse me, an extraordinary wine, a very important wine, and both the Yellowtail and the Grange are made from the same grape, the Shiraz, otherwise known as Syrah in the old world. Shiraz is probably Australia's most important grape varietal. It seems to do very well there, and winemakers all over Australia use the varietal to make different types of wine, different styles of wine. Are we okay there? And so we thought we would try one from a producer in the Maclara Vale, Thorpe Wines. This is their 2003. Excuse me, it's 2004. It's a 2004 Shiraz. This is a very small producer. Not a lot of the wine gets here to the United States. And the thing I've liked about these wines is they're not these, I should talk about, I think, to characterize wines from Australia in general, the red wines especially, is they tend to be big, really big wines. It's a hot climate, and it's very much expressed in the grapes, except when you go to places like Tasmania, where it's much cooler. But for the majority of Australia, the red wines are big, a lot of alcohol, a lot of powerful stuff, and you get this extracted quality, which is again what I described as from fruit that has been exposed to some sun, and it's more concentrated and deep and rich, and sometimes very, very powerful and require food. So today we're doing the Thorpe Wines Maclara Vale 2004 Shiraz. I believe it's 100% Shiraz, and let's just give it a little try. It's around $15, which is modest for. So right away, the color is very deep, very deep. I cannot see through this. It is opaque, and not too much wine in the glass. It's not showing a lot of age. We talk about the discoloration around the edge of the wine in the glass, and it's showing this nice kind of pink. Magenta right into a deep red. Now 2004, this has a little bit more bottle age than your normal bottle of wine on the shelf. If I just turn around, I see 2007, oh that's 2003, 2008, 2006, 2005, but nothing, some older stuff. But it's not common to see a wine with this kind of bottle age on it. So six and a half years. Remember, Australia's a full season ahead, and so it's got a little bit more aging on it. So let's give it a sniff. It's a little bit of that extracted fruit that I talked about. I'm getting a lot of eucalyptus and menthol. The fruit is a little hidden. Bit of alcohol, 14%, I see on the back. So yeah, mint, eucalyptus, very, very subtle raspberries. Like when you're out in the patch, smell the raspberries. But so far, you know, dark, deep, expressive on the nose. Very sweet on the palate, and I don't mean sweet like sugary sweet, but like voluptuous sweet. We were talking about raspberries, and if you know that sensation of crushing a raspberry in your mouth, and it kind of just oozes out over your tongue. I'm getting a little bit of that. It's for as strong as the nose was, I'm surprised how soft it is on the palate. Trying to board, yeah. But yeah, I'm getting a lot of like raspberries is almost exactly what that's exactly what I'm getting. Raspberries, it's a little bit of tannins in the back. It's a fairly long finish. It's still with me here. Still with me. So a nice 20-25 second finish. Needs food, but you could probably have one glass without. But again, this is nothing like a lot of other wines from my experience from Australia that are just all about alcohol and intensity and not always a lot of fun to drink. This wine is, I would say, is fun to drink, and probably a little atypical for Australia. It's a good price, I think, at $15. I would definitely give it a buy, a thumbs up. It should be within your, 15 bucks is not too expensive at all, but it's got a lot of stuff going for it. So I would recommend this wine, and look for other wines like it, whether they're from Thorpe or from the McClarval. And this is when we get into one of those exercises about, trying to understand a region, find a wine from a region you like, and find some other wines from that region and try them. And so you start seeing the differences between how different winemakers approach the same varietal in the same region, and you will be astounded how different they can be. So yes, Thorpe Wines, McClarval 2004 Shiraz at $15 is definitely a buy. It's delicious. Good job, Nicole, the owner. And thanks whoever sent that question in. So keep sending your questions into Tell Me Wine TV.